World title action this morning and world title action on Friday fight night. The super bantamweight title, the IBF version. Michael Hunter wants it. Standing in his way, Steve Molotov. Friday, 10 o'clock on Sky Sports 1. Now, Floyd Mayweather, a bit of a character. It's about becoming a legend. I'm the best to ever put on these gloves. I'm the untouchable man. The one and only. That's what he's had to say ahead of his showdown with Carlos Baldomir. What does he have to do, Colin, to get that legendary status?
Well, obviously a great performance in beating Baldomir. I think he's capable of producing a great performance every time he goes in the ring. He is special for me. I've been looking forward to this fight ever since it was made, because there's a wonderful contrast in styles. We all know what Baldomir is. He's a tough, strong, go forward Argentine, so typical of that country. All their fighters seem to fight the same way, and they've got a tremendous heart and usually very good chins. And now you've got Mayweather, who's lightning fast and has got every punch in the book, and he can go forward, he can go laterally, he can do everything.
What does Baldomir have to do to cause Mayweather problems?
Baldomir needs to close it down, stay on top of him, and don't give him time to show off. Don't give him time to get that space, to get flash. Try and subdue that confidence. I don't know how he'll do it. Baldomir has been beaten on points before. Last time it happened was 8 years ago, over 8 rounds. So it can happen. It's a chance for Floyd Mayweather to really shine. But Baldomir's got to bully him, take him totally out of his stride, do something totally unorthodox, and make him worry about it. Give him something to worry about. Don't make himself be a sitting target.
This is a chance for Mayweather to shine here. Baldomir can win this. You know, upsets have happened, and Baldomir can outwork him and get him late in the fight. But this is a real chance. I think styles make for great fights. I think Mayweather has got a chance now to really shine and show those combinations of speed that we all know he's got, and show what a great he can become.
There's also at times Mayweather is happy to just sit back and just do enough to win. So we just don't. We hope we don't see that kind of performance. I think he's in Las Vegas, big stage, big chance to show off.
I think we can ignore Baldomir's last fight with Gatti. Although it looked impressive on the night, Gatti was a completely shock fighter and may have been softened up by Mayweather, who toyed with him and before stopping him in 6 rounds. So I think we forget that fight. What we want to look at is what Baldomir did to Zab Judah, who is also a speed merchant.
But Zab Judah underestimated Baldomir, and we just don't want Mayweather to do that. Mayweather and Zab Judah are actually very good friends, so he'll make sure he doesn't make the same mistake as Zab Judah and go in there and look, his condition unbelievable at the weigh-in. He looked in supreme condition, so I believe he's trained to the best he possibly could.
I mean, it's been 7 months since he stepped in the ring, Mayweather, but that doesn't seem to be a problem with him. The way he trains, the way he keeps himself in amazing shape.
Yeah, it's very important to him. Vanity, as you say, is the most a very important thing for Floyd Mayweather. You can tell how he dresses, how he walks, how he talks. So he's not going to let his body get out of condition. So he'll train as though it's part of his lifestyle. So for him to be unfit is the last thing I expect.
You know, we saw the clips of him in the dressing room, being given his instructions by the referee and warming up. I mean, he looks terrified, doesn't he? I mean,
we are looking now, though, for ways that Baldomir can win this. And you are right, Zab Judah is a very fast man, and Baldomir found a way to get on top of that. So, you know, we're looking for ways that this is going to be a big fight, an interesting fight. I think it can be, but I think it's a real chance for Mayweather to show us.
There are no certainties in any sport, and we've seen it before when, you know, Buster Douglas and Tyson, you could go on and on. If I was in
Baldomir's corner, I would say jump on him, just get it, rough him up, risk getting told off by the referee. Do whatever you possibly can.
Tell me, John, he normally has his Uncle Roger in the corner. He's not there. We know all about the problems that have been in the last fight, and also he's serving a prison sentence. Does it make a difference not having your usual man in the corner?
It makes a big difference. It's about trust. It's about familiarity, and that's what he needs.
I'm not so sure for this man.
Low-key walk on, eh?
That's exactly what I mean.
Right, here it is, the main event then. Floyd Mayweather in his own inimitable style. Jim Watt and Ian Dark.
Eat your heart out, Chris Eubank and Prince Nassim Hamed. What kind of ring entrance is this from Floyd Mayweather?
Well, he considers himself an entertainer as well as a boxer. And you see some of the superstars that he's drawn to ringside here, film stars, tremendous sportsmen. So they want to see a show, and as usual, Floyd's going to put one on for them.
He's enjoying the showmanship of it all. Gladiatorial outfit. By the way, you mentioned the showbiz stars. There are a lot of them here tonight. Denzel Washington, Tiger Woods, the world's #1 golfer, is here. Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. A real star-studded cast list. And all here to see this man who's now regarded, and I don't think anybody disputes it anymore, as the top boxer pound for pound on the planet, Floyd Mayweather. Still 29, unbeaten in 36 fights, and so far has never looked like being beaten either. I don't think he's been pushed at all. I don't think we found the bottom of his talent yet even.
No, but we've seen a couple of bad performances, a poor performance, you would say, by his own standards. But even in those performances, he didn't come close to losing. He's a special talent, but there's been a lot of special talents who have struggled as we move up through the weight divisions. He is now in his 4th weight division. That's a massive jump from super featherweight up to welterweight here. So things can happen.
Mayweather, who's guaranteed $8 million for tonight's fight. Baldomir is on about $1.5 million and might go up that fee as well with pay-per-view sales in the United States. One big question though is, will he miss his usual trainer, Roger Mayweather, who would have been banned from being in the corner tonight anyway after the melee in the ring in the Zab Judah fight, but is currently anyway in jail, having been convicted of battery, serving a 6-month sentence at the Clark County Detention Center. Don't know if they've got a TV in there tonight. Meanwhile, Carlos Baldomir is on his way to the ring. This is a man who was selling feather dusters on the streets of Santa Fe, Argentina, and mixing that in with his boxing. He wasn't being paid much. In fact, the top purse of his career was about $15,000 up to a year or so ago. But then 2 amazing wins have changed his life. The one over Zab Judah on points, and then stopping an admittedly faded Arturo Gatti in the 9th round, have transformed his life. Now he looks to scale another even higher mountain. Can he do it? This tough, hard man who looks to have been quarried from a rock face somewhere in Argentina.
I think one of the problems from Baldomir, he's tough, he's strong, but he's not a big puncher and he's not an all-out aggressive fighter. So I think he is the one who tonight is going to have to change his style to come out victorious. Mayweather has loads of different styles that he can employ. This fellow only has the one, and he's going to have to change that tonight. He's cagey, but tonight he's going to have to be all-out aggressive. I don't know if he's going to be comfortable with that style, and if he can get on top of Mayweather. I have my doubts.
One thing's for absolutely certain, that is, he is totally unfazed by the size of the task in front of him. He's fought on 4 continents in 8 different countries in a 13-year career. This is all happening late for him, and I think we know what you're going to get with Carlos Baldomir.
Gentlemen, Goossen Tutor Promotions, in association with Saquon Ringside Promotions, is proud to present the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the universally recognized Welterweight Championship of the World. Sponsored by True Dad Entertainment, Tycoon Armagnac, Ice Link Watches, and the motion picture Rocky Balboa. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Dr. Tony Alamo, Executive Director Keith Kaiser, and the World Boxing Council President Jose Suleiman. At ringside, the 3 judges who will be scoring this contest on the 10-point system: Chuck Giampa, John Keane, and Paul Smith. And inside the ring, the man in charge of the action, your referee, Jay Nady. And now, for the thousands in attendance, and the millions watching around the world. From the Mandalay Bay Resort Casino of Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white with pink, official weight 146 pounds. Professional record, a perfect one. 36 bouts, 36 victories, including 24 knockouts. From Grand Rapids, Michigan, the undisputed pound-for-pound king of boxing, the undefeated former super featherweight world champion, lightweight world champion, super lightweight world champion, and welterweight champion of the world, pretty boy, Floyd Mayweather. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trimmed with blue, official weight 147 pounds. Professional record, 43 victories, including 13 knockouts, 9 defeats, 6 bouts even. He comes to the ring tonight undefeated for almost 8 consecutive years. From Santa Fe, Argentina, the reigning, defending, universally recognized, true welterweight champion of the world, Carlos Tata Baldomir.
Yeah, that's right. Baldomir is unbeaten for 8 years and for his last 21 contests. A run which includes a victory by disqualification at Wembley over Joshua Clottey in 1999. He's in an embrace with his team, the man who comes from the same town as the great middleweight Carlos Monzon, Santa Fe, Argentina.
Do you have any questions? 12 rounds. Let's touch gloves and go to work.
Jay Nady, the very laid-back referee. Rafael Garcia with a last little word for Floyd Mayweather. Leonard Ellerbe, his longtime friend and former bodyguard, is taking over the training duties for this fight. Big atmosphere here at the Mandalay Bay. WBC Welterweight Championship of the World, held by Argentina's Carlos Baldomir, the former feather duster salesman from Santa Fe, on the right of your picture, against pretty boy Floyd Mayweather, regarded as pound for pound the #1 fighter on the planet today. He'll have speed and skills and slickness on his side. Baldomir, immensely strong, only stopped once in his 13-year pro career.
Well, I think Baldomir has to make Mayweather work every second of the fight here. He can't allow him to control the pace. He has to take something out of the tank. He's going to have to take punches in the process, but he can't allow Mayweather to control things here. The pace, he has to be the one initiating.
Mayweather, full of speed and feints and angles, and so hard to catch cleanly. He's a defensive master. The problem for Baldomir could be that he becomes bemused and confused and befuddled by all the movement going on around him. His tactics, his strategy surely have to be to bustle up Mayweather the best way he knows how, maybe to trap him against the ropes as often as he can, make the extra natural strength tell. Easier said than done though with this guy.
But he has to tuck up, he has to be doing it with a tight defence. He has to tight defend, a good body shot from Mayweather there, actually pull Baldomir's elbows down. Baldomir reaching with the punches here in the first round, and that's the last thing you should be doing. Tight defence and try to get his feet close.
Baldomir may be a little more cunning than people give him credit for. He's not just a roll-forward tank-like fighter. He knows a little bit, enough certainly to do a number on Zab Judah. But the fast hands of Mayweather. Now he's got him against the ropes, but he's so slippery, Mayweather. On the rare occasions you can trap him. He's like an eel.
Yeah, but that left hand did catch Mayweather. He pulled away from the punch, wiping away blood. I think there's a nick already on Baldomir's left eye. I see him wiping it and having a look at it. Doesn't look serious. He's getting close to Mayweather, and that's the first thing he has to do. I thought there'd been a few rounds before he'd have gotten this close.
So with a right hand over the top, Baldomir. This is what he wants to do. If he can wrestle Mayweather a little like that and just make that extra strength of the naturally big welterweight style. Remember, this is Mayweather's only third fight at this weight. Carlos Baldomir has just picked up a little nick, as Jim was saying, in that opening round. Doesn't look like anything to worry about. Totally unmarked. Mayweather. Rafael Garcia's doing most of the talking, I notice, in the corner. He's the cut man normally. There's no Roger Mayweather, currently serving a sentence for an assault. Second round of this for the WBC Welterweight Championship. Floyd Mayweather, remember, a 4-weight champion already. He's already won a title at this weight at the IBF version. Didn't want the title, just gave it up.
See, this is more positive looking stuff from Baldomir, but he needs his hands a little bit tighter. He's getting forward, he's feinting as he goes forward, forcing Mayweather to make the first move. This is much more impressive stuff here from Baldomir. Not a lot of success with it so far, but it's the right tactics.
Trying to walk down Mayweather, much in the same way he did with Arturo Gatti. Will take him out and gets him with the right hand there. Success for Baldomir there.
Well, early signs that his strength could be giving Mayweather some problems. Mayweather not all that comfortable up close when they're wrestling.
Mayweather's also fought the two men that Baldomir has beaten, Judah and Gatti, and a kind of racing form. He did a much more emphatic job with both of them, but it doesn't always work out quite like that.
Baldomir complaining to the referee there about Mayweather's rough tactics. That's not the best sign. He should be the one with the rough tactics.
Baldomir smiles through his gum shield at Mayweather. This is a fighter with a renewed sense of belief about him.
This is much better.
Mayweather looking a little thoughtful, as if he's just feeling the extra weight of the natural welterweight's punches, and much in the same way that Ricky Hand did when he moved up to fight Luis Collazo.
Well, Baldomir has taken away the smoothness from Mayweather, and that's certainly a success. He's not really getting his own punches home cleanly, but he's doing the right thing. He's showing that feint, he's taking his time, he's getting his feet close before he throws the punch. He's not reaching the way he was in the opening round. See, he's marching Mayweather down. This is clever stuff from Baldomir, not paying dividends yet, but it might.
Clever counter-punching from Mayweather. That's more like what he's about, getting a punch in and throwing it away, but Baldomir isn't going to stop hunting him. He's chasing across the ring. Crowd here are liking what they see from Carlos Baldomir. They sense that they might get a real argument. Mayweather a heavy betting favourite, something like 5-1 on with the Las Vegas bookies, who don't get too much wrong usually. By the way, on the night here, Baldomir is weighing 11 stone 8, Mayweather 10 stone 9. Remember, it's 10.5 stone division.
With the uppercut. He just trying to get a slugging
intriguing
match
fight here.
We're going box, soccer.
Now Leonard Ellerbe's doing the talking. Mayweather says he's my best friend. He's done every job in the camp bar trainer until now.
Good round now.
Mayweather's almost at the stage where he can train himself to fight. Been a world champion for a long time now at different weights. This is round 3.
He's not looking smooth at the moment, and he's not looking all that happy. I'm impressed with Baldomir. He's not landing many punches, but his tactics are good. He's forcing Mayweather to work, showing the feint, and up close, he's wrestling with him, trying to take some of the sting, some of the steam out of him.
Mayweather trying raiding tactics, getting in with a punch and then getting away again, but he looks very anxious not to get involved close up with Baldomir, which I suppose has to be the right tactics for him. Keep it on the outside as often as he can, use his speed and skills, but it's not altogether convincing so far.
No, he's not been allowed to find any smoothness. I think he was visualising Baldomir missing badly and getting pinned with counters and 3 and 4 punch combinations, but he's not been allowed to do that.
This is where Baldomir wants Mayweather, trapped in a corner. That time he couldn't quite get in there. At times it's almost like a tank trying to corner a wasp. Battle lines are drawn. It's kind of what we thought we were going to see. Has Baldomir got the hand speed and the foot speed to get to Mayweather often enough to just make his perceived extra strength tell later on in the fight?
Well, that's what I think he has to do. He has to keep doing as he's doing now. Take some of the steam out of Mayweather, which may pay dividends later. He can't expect early success. Mayweather too quick, too sharp. But I don't think he's doing all that badly. He's not winning anything because he's not finding the target. But he's making him work, and he's taking his smoothness away.
Sometimes Mayweather can go negative in a fight. He has fought pressure fighters before, notably Jose Luis Castillo, who gave him plenty of problems in their first fight, not so many second time.
But we're only in the 3rd round here, long time to go. Although he's picking his punches a bit more nicely now, Mayweather.
So clever at just leaning away from punches, Mayweather, and showing the other fighter just his shoulder. There always seems to be so little to hit. And his reflexes are so good as well, aren't they, Jim?
Yep. I think Baldomir could be doing with a tighter defence. He's a little bit wide-armed as he moves forward. Mayweather ripping the punches through the guard.
Esa mano le dolió abajo. No te sostienes. Le vas a pegar arriba.
There's the Baldomir corner. Amazing how this journeyman has become a top liner in recent months. They're calling them the modern-day Cinderella Man. You'll know the Cinderella Man, the movie about Jim Braddock, who became world heavyweight champion after a journeyman career when he beat Max Baer back in the 1930s. No sign of Renee Zellweger or Russell Crowe at ringside tonight, though. Fourth round. Has Baldomir won a round though yet? That's the key point, isn't it?
No, he's only getting his punches home now and again. A couple of clumps to the side of the head, but no, Mayweather's much more accurate. But I'm impressed the way he's making it uncomfortable for Mayweather. Wants to be coming forward a bit more, doesn't want to pose quite so much, tighten up the defence, show the feints he was showing earlier. Force Mayweather to make the first move. This is beautiful stuff from Mayweather here.
Yeah. Rapier-like skills on the counter. Little feints, just inviting Baldomir to throw a punch, and then when he does so, hitting him with a lightning-fast counter. Clever stuff. Baldomir's picked up a lot of cunning along the way. He knew what he was going to be fighting. They'll have watched the tapes, they'll have worked on a strategy, but working on it and doing it, two different things.
I think Mayweather looking a little bit more impressive at the moment. He's standing his ground, just a half step back, whipping the punches home. Baldomir was the one who put his arms round behind Mayweather there. Don't know what the plan was there. He should have his hands in punching position for every chance that comes his way. There won't be many.
Just not able to exert the kind of pressure he wants at this point, Carlos Baldomir. He may feel that the later rounds might be more his territory in this kind of fight. He does get home with a body shot there.
But Mayweather's playing the centre of the ring here. Baldomir's backing off. That's not going to work.
Scored with a right, but then took a couple of counters back from Mayweather, whose hand speed is dazzling, of course, at times.
Yeah, Mayweather is really looking the part now. Looked a little bit uncomfortable early, but not now.
Because of a wonderful boxing brain. He's from a boxing family, of course. They joked that he was throwing left jabs in his pram. It's a Mayweather round, this one so far. He's done the better work, the more eye-catching work. Baldomir, there's a danger he just might get frustrated, as so many opponents have before. And it's Baldomir who's trapped against the ropes here.
That's the big worry, the fact that Mayweather claimed the centre of the ring in that round.
Carlos Baldomir, who grew up watching his idol Carlos Monzon on TV when he was 5 years old. Monzon, who died in a car crash when he was 52, the great world middleweight champion.
Look at the defensive work here from Mayweather, just straight in front of Baldomir, but little slips and feints and back to the counter. That was quality stuff in that round.
Fifth round, probably everything so far to Floyd Mayweather. He's had some uncomfortable moments early on, but showing signs that he's taking control of this. He does have a way of exerting a kind of psychological hold on his opponents as well, this Mayweather. He's mixing it up a little and starting to bemuse Baldomir, who... Has he run out of ideas? Not yet, I don't think.
He's gone back to standing off and trying to reach with the punches. He has to get his feet close before he does anything else. If he reaches with punches from long range, he's going to be countered all night long.
Lovely right hand there from Mayweather. By the way, for the first time in the welterweight division at this level, they're using 10-ounce gloves tonight, not the normal 8-ounce. That's in response to a few injuries in Nevada rings in recent times. Heavier gloves, which in theory should do a bit less damage, in theory.
I think Baldomir knew this was a massive task. He knew Mayweather was going to be difficult to pin down, but I just think he's finding out at the moment it's even bigger than he imagined. No real success yet. The fact that he's been pushed back so often, I wonder if he's losing faith and he's going to build a beautiful right hand.
Just picked it beautifully and starting to just dance a little now. Mayweather has settled into his rhythm, hasn't he, now?
Yeah, but just looks what he is. Just total class. Baldomir can't get his feet close now. He's reaching with the punches. His defences are even wider than they were.
There's another right hand. While Baldomir was thinking, Mayweather, little feint, and then whipped in the right hand, and it's so fast, it's like a striking cobra.
Now Baldomir's putting on a macho act, dropping his hands and walking forward. This is not clever, he's just going to suffer more facial damage. He's right to raise the tempo, but he needs defence. He has to come in behind a higher guard.
Well, you can't blame him. He's got to try to do something, hasn't he, to break Mayweather's spell.
Yeah, he's got to get close and he can't reach with the punches. But Mayweather is so relaxed now, he's not really under any pressure, working at his own pace.
Mayweather's this kind of fighter that often makes his opponents look as if they're fighting in slow motion. Brilliant again. Now you see me, now you don't. He's really turned it on there, Mayweather. That was sensational stuff. Masterclass.
exactly what I'm looking for. You box circles around this guy all day long. He's too slow on his feet.
I told you boxing, everything is
Too slow on his feet.
They do say speed kills, Jim.
Yeah, well, that's what's happening tonight. Baldomir not making an impression. He had to make an impression early. We knew he wouldn't win any early rounds. He had to be drawing some of the steam. Hasn't managed to do that.
Move out. I go in my zone. Yeah, move in and move out. Make the work easy. We'll try him down the stretch. We're going to keep breaking him down, keep touching him downstairs, and we're going to break him down.
They still believe in the corner. Or at least they're trying to make Baldomir believe that they still believe. Here's round 6. Can Carlos Baldomir do anything to make a dent in Floyd Mayweather, who has predictably taken control of this? Every body shot does get in from Baldomir, but it's a rare success.
I would just like to see his hands up a little bit tighter to block some of the punches and try to edge his way close, get his feet a little bit closer before he lets the punches go. But his hands are too wide as he moves forward, reaching with the shots. There he goes again.
At least he's inconveniencing Mayweather a little here. He's got him against the ropes. He gets in with the right hand. It's better from Baldomir. Mayweather not quite so comfortable there. He's trying to find his counters, but this is what Baldomir needs to do. Lean on, bustle, bulldoze as much as he can.
Yeah, he has to take a grasp of it. He has to try to force the pace. He can't stand off and allow it to be a boxing match. It has to raise the tempo. He has to be prepared to take these punches in the way, and he's going to get caught. He has to take the shots, but carry on and try to get close.
Yes, the gamble he's got to take. He's got to try to walk through these fast slashing shots from Mayweather. The kind of shots, by the way, that could easily cut up Baldomir or mark up his face, if not break his heart.
The defensive boxing of Mayweather is beautiful to watch. I mean, his chin is unprotected most of the time, but just that little turn away from the shots and they miss by a fraction of an inch.
Yeah, it's very clever stuff. Because those fighters are often the first to age, aren't they, with the speed and reflexes. Once those go a bit like Roy Jones, it kind of all fell apart, but Mayweather has hardly been in a tough fight. He's still only 29.
Stop.
Not going to happen yet. Bit better from Baldomir, though, in this round. Still losing it, though, isn't he, Jim?
Yeah, he's trying to raise the pace to initiate the attacks a bit more, but he's still getting picked apart at long range. I mean, the accuracy and the defensive boxing of Mayweather is a treat to watch. But he's making an impression. That's what he has to do in the first half of the fight. Make some sort of impression.
See, this is better from Baldomir. The more he can lean on and wrestle Mayweather up close, the more it could pay for him. But then that spurs Mayweather into that dazzling combination and that lovely right hand. But Baldomir, they're just bouncing off him like the shell of a tank. But that face is beginning to show the wear and tear of the battle.
Yeah, well, that was a round that Baldomir should be pleased with, but still didn't win it because the accurate and the quality punches coming from the other guy once again. But at least he raised the tempo and he drew Mayweather into more of a battle in that round.
Okay. Give me a little more body work, baby. A little more body work, slowing him down, and then we're going to try him down the stretch. A little more body work. Okay. The hook to the body and that straight right hand to the body. Keep working. Working good. Keep
Never seems to mark up, does he? I don't ever remember him getting cut or bruised even, Mayweather.
I'm trying to remember getting hit here. I mean, the defensive stuff we're seeing tonight, beautiful.
Mayweather's last defeat was 10 years ago in the Olympic semi-finals against the Bulgarian Serafim Todorov. 10 points to 9, which meant he didn't get the Olympic gold he perhaps would have been expected to get. Making up for it in the pros though, isn't he? World champion at 4 different weights. Some talk he might fight Oscar De La Hoya somewhere down the road. More likely, I'm hearing, next up might be Vernon Forrest, former world welterweight champion.
Baldomir standing off again, hasn't a hope unless he's coming forward. Trying to catch Mayweather from long range, not going to happen.
I think among his other attributes, Mayweather is such a very good strategist, thinking his way through the fight, just occasionally looking to back up Baldomir himself because he knows that would inconvenience him.
Yeah, he just has the look of a man who has things under control. Now and again he's forced to back off quickly, to pull out of the exchanges, but he's just in control of what's happening. And the fact that Baldomir is not a big puncher, I mean, it wasn't until his 17th fight that he scored a stoppage. So he's never been a puncher, so it's not even as though he can turn it around with that one big punch.
Yeah. 13 stoppage wins in 58 fights for Baldomir. He tends to grind you down rather than take you out. Look at this from Floyd Mayweather again, but then that's a nice right hand from Baldomir again. Leans on and hopes somehow late on in the fight, that kind of thing might just take it out of Mayweather, but I don't think he's been able to do that enough, has he?
Well, he's making him work now, he's making him draw big deep breaths there. Mayweather was the one who was happy for the little respite there. So this is what he has to do. He's not going to get close without taking punches, he's going to have to take them and come through them. So this is better from him. Still the quality stuff coming from Mayweather, but better stuff from Baldomir.
Again, desperately trying to rough up Mayweather, just don't hit round the back of the head, says Jay Nady. I didn't think he did, to be honest with you.
Mayweather was turning his head away from the punches. What's the referee talking about? Mayweather was turning away from them.
Jay Nady, the referee who told Mayweather pre-fight in the dressing room that he was a great champion, bizarrely, in a pre-fight speech.
You alright, you fine. What? You fine. You fine. Like I said, what we gotta do, continue to keep touching him down to the body, because it's slowing him down. Okay. He don't like it down now. Okay. He taking the shit in the head for right now. But we're gonna keep breaking him down to the body.
Breathing a little more heavily there, Mayweather.
Yeah, I noticed that during the round. Two better rounds for Baldomir. It's still the quality. He's not winning on the Macab. He's making an impression at last. He's forcing the pace, and Mayweather a couple of dots of oxygen during that round. So things have brightened up slightly, still not winning anything, but he's getting himself into the fight a bit more.
He's doing everything he knows, isn't he? Basically to try to ruffle Mayweather. Whether it's enough, you're going to find out in the next few minutes. Because if there's any time in this fight that might be Baldomir's time, it will be late on. Here's round 8. Mayweather protecting this long, unbeaten record.
But this is exactly what's required. Get the feet close, get the chin down, the hands up, and try and get the feet close, then let the punches go. You can't punch him the way in, because he'll slip to the side or back off and counter. Get close. That's what he's trying to do.
On the move all the time, Mayweather. Lateral movement, giving Baldomir angles, making it very hard for him to hunt him down. But the moment he does stand still for a moment, Baldomir quickly takes the opportunity. But he has to keep presenting, you'd think, the mobile target. And then his speed and skills likely to do the rest. How do you solve a problem like Mayweather?
back to this one punch at a time stuff that we've seen in the past from Mayweather. That was a nice jab though.
Another right hand. Baldomir nails him in the corner and gets in. And just for a moment there, Mayweather looked a little inconvenienced, but that was all. Soon the pretty boy had extricated himself from the pocket.
Yeah, but Baldomir's making things much tougher for Mayweather now. I think Mayweather realises this is a 12-rounder. Maybe has to conserve a little bit of energy, not quite so impressive in this round.
Still plenty of life in the legs of Baldomir. No sign either that he's getting discouraged. Don't think you're going to see a Roberto Duran, no mass kind of thing here. There's no quitting him. He get him with the right hand there, Baldomir.
Yep, Mayweather not quite so impressive in this round.
He used these single jabs to keep Baldomir away, and then a right hand just as he was lining up his own shot. Such a difference in foot and hand speed between these two. Somebody rather unkindly described it as a Porsche against a pickup truck.
Another round where Baldomir has been ticked off, but he has made an impression. But just can't knock Mayweather out of his rhythm.
But he's made the last few rounds a bit more competitive, Baldomir. Maybe without winning any of them. I think he kind of knew it was going to be like this, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean that was another round where he made an impression, but it's difficult to score the rounds to him because he's not really finding the target. Look, every one of those punches missing. He's catching shoulders and elbows and hips, and Mayweather's coming back with the accurate counter punches. But that wasn't an impressive round. I still think Mayweather won it, but it wasn't all that impressive.
He's slow on his feet. Keep making him move on his feet. Working good.
That's all you needed. That's all you needed.
Well, he grew up on the streets of Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's now a multi-millionaire. Not quite as flash and brash as he used to be, but still quite flash and brash. Round 9. Floyd Mayweather with the pink gloves. Ninth round. Mayweather surely in a very, very big lead. Baldomir tries to get to him with right hands. Again, he's warned by Nady about punching around the back of the head, and again, I didn't really see the transgression.
That's Mayweather turning his head away from the punch, which is a thing he does regularly. And what was Baldomir supposed to do? Stop punching because he's turning away.
Yeah.
Baldomir's telling him he's turning away. That's what Baldomir's complaining about.
Yeah, and the crowd are reacting to that as well. And I think the Nevada Commission should watch the tape of Jay Nady's instructions to Mayweather in the dressing room and tell him to cut out stuff like, it's a privilege to referee you, you're a great champion. What is that about?
Yeah, there's a piece of nonsense. I mean, he wouldn't be saying anything like that to Baldomir.
No. Pretty disgraceful, actually. That's my last word on the subject. Can Baldomir get to Mayweather late in the fight? Or is he going to continue to be outboxed again? He got there with that little chopping right hand.
Well, again, this is better from Baldomir. There's more urgency in his work. He's not standing off.
Cracking right, wasn't it, from Mayweather again. Saw the gap, crashed the punch through it at 100 miles an hour. Very, very hard to slip those punches when they're arriving at that speed.
You know, Baldomir is putting so much into this. You would like to be scoring the rounds for him, but he's missing, and Mayweather is not missing. Mayweather is so accurate.
Just hit the gloves that time though, Mayweather. Baldomir did get the gloves up. You just can't corner him though.
Now, another round where he's put out an awful lot of work. You feel he deserves something for all that work, but he's not landing the punches, and Mayweather is. A lazy round from Mayweather by his own standards, but there, just as I'm speaking, clips that left hook.
Little right hand there again. He's such a marvellous technician. I think he's a better defender than Franco Baresi. Floyd Mayweather. So hard to catch. It's brilliant. There's an argument for saying sometimes he's so brilliant that he almost drains the drama out of it a bit.
Well, no, this is entertainment. I mean, the action is not untidy. There are no clinches. I mean, it's all long-range stuff. When they're up close, I mean, the defensive boxing of Mayweather's a treat to watch.
Keep checking in with the hook.
Some problem with that nose, I think, of Baldomir. One of those shots has caused him an injury to the nose. Father of 4 daughters, how they'll love this flood of money for the family. That's a fortune in Argentina, isn't it? He got, what was it, I think about $1 million for the Gatti fight, another $1.5 million here. Great. Deserved it.
Nice to see one of the unsung boxers getting a couple of turns like that. And to his credit, he's not saying, well, I climbed the mountain, I've made the money, I'll just go through the motions here. He's still trying to get himself into this.
But he's running out of time now. This is the last 9 minutes. Mayweather's a mile ahead on points. He has to be. But he's having to box on the run as Baldomir tries to hunt him down. Mayweather, who's beaten Goyo Vargas, Diego Corrales, who he floored 5 times, Carlos Hernandez, Jesus Chavez, Jose Luis Castillo twice, Zab Judah, Arturo Gatti. You can't say he's dodging them.
No, he fights everyone who's there. And that's all you can ask of a champion these days. But it's not his fault if the competition's not all that good in some of the divisions. But stepping up 4 divisions is a little bit special.
I think Mayweather is so talented that he would have even held his own in the era of Leonard and Hearns 25 years back.
Well, we would have found out more about him then, because those guys were superstars as well. He doesn't have that kind of competition to prove himself against.
I didn't say he'd beat them, I said he might be in the argument.
Well, we'd find out, that's what I'm saying, we'd find out.
Again, at times Mayweather, as he does so often, just toying with his opponent. There are times when you think it's all too ridiculously easy for him, but he's trapped in a corner here for a moment.
Baldomir's winning this round, Ian, because Mayweather's done virtually nothing. He's bobbing and weaving, slipping and sliding, but not coming back with the counters that we've seen early. Did it there, but this has really been a lazy round, work-wise, for Mayweather.
Just relying on the jab. Left hand there from Baldomir. He's found it hard though to land cleanly with anything.
Yeah, but he's gotten himself close all through this round. Some body shots at home.
It's a good effort this from Baldomir. He's got it a little closer and he's had that bit more success.
Yeah, for me this is the best round of the fight so far for Baldomir. Not making any great impression, but not allowing Mayweather to do his thing.
Clipped by a left hand there on the way in, Baldomir, but maybe he did do enough to nick that one. And I think he does deserve for it not to be a total shutout. I actually did give him maybe I was feeling kind of an even round. I think it was the 6th. They don't score even rounds, the judges here, but that's how I saw it anyway. He looks very tired.
I just feel there's some rounds I would love to have scored to him because of the effort he put in. He wasn't finding the target. It's because every now and again Mayweather was start popping the counters back, taking control again.
Keep touching downstairs. Get the nice taping.
I think one of the problems Mayweather has in terms of selling himself with the charisma of, we mentioned Leonard and Hearns, and you think of Duran and Benitez and those kind of fighters, is has he been in enough great fights?
I mean, it's maybe fair to say he hasn't been in any great fights. We've seen great performances, great achievements, but great fights, he doesn't like being hit. And for a fight to be great, both guys have to be giving and taking. And he feels it's more gracious to give than to receive, and that's always the way he's done business.
Well, all the smart money in Las Vegas in the build-up to this fight had been on Mayweather winning on points, to the extent that that bet was 2-1 on, and it's beginning to look like that will happen unless Baldomir can come up with something dramatic late. He's really trying to pile it on here. He's trying to lift the tempo. He knows he's running out of time.
See, Baldomir needed this urgency a little bit earlier in the fight, when he may have taken some of the sting out of Mayweather's work. It's just a little bit too little, too late maybe. But he's tried, just as you'd expect. He'll give it a go until the end.
I suppose there'll be some, for all Mayweather's technical brilliance, who will say that he's a little too negative for their tastes.
Well, you can hear the crowd, they're not all that happy with this. I mean, they're not booing quite, but certainly things have slowed down a little bit.
I think the crowd are frustrated that it hasn't quite caught fire, that Baldomir has never really been able to seriously inconvenience Mayweather. Well, he's pulling on the pressure, but
not so badly here.
Again, walked onto the left hand. Mayweather goes backwards, waits for Baldomir to commit himself, looks for a counter. You go for him, and he's just not there. He's a Rubik's Cube of a fighter to work out, isn't he?
Yeah, well, certainly the pace has slowed a little bit, which is allowing Baldomir a bit more success. There's getting through again to the head. Yep, again, Baldomir making an impression that he wasn't doing earlier. Mayweather maybe taking his foot off the gas, knowing he's well in front.
And I think the later rounds are always going to be that little harder for him. I mean, this is a guy who started off winning a world championship at 9 stone 4, and Baldomir's been in this 10 stone 7 division all his life.
Yep, for 13 years Baldomir's been a welterweight.
So he's, no doubt about it, he's naturally the bigger, probably the stronger man, but there's a chasm in terms of skill and class, it must be said. Baldomir here, just throwing leather, looking to hope to hit the jackpot. He doesn't hit it, and now he only has 3 minutes left. He looks disconsolate and very, very tired. I mean, there's no shame in this, I don't think, for Baldomir at all, do you?
No.
Smart boxing.
Well, you can see I have him well in front. I've given the last couple of rounds to Baldomir because I think he's outworked Mayweather. You can see 100, 101, 7 points in it. Clearly in front.
So keep the boxing like you're doing just now. You don't hear change because he's frustrated completely. When he turns around...
No dramas with the corner, even with the usual trainer, Roger Mayweather, otherwise disposed tonight. This is the 12th and last round of the contest. There's no doubt about it, Carlos Baldomir needs a knockout, but Floyd Mayweather has never looked like being knocked out. Mayweather's not been throwing his right hand too much. I don't know whether he's picked up an injury. He's had a lot of hand trouble in the past, and shoulder injuries as well in the past too. Is he just fighting with one hand? Let's have a look.
Well, you would think the bigger gloves would have been an advantage as far as that was concerned.
Looked a bit low, that left hand from Mayweather. No comment from Nady.
Well, again, Baldomir able to match up. I think maybe there's signs that Mayweather is tiring a little bit. He's not reacting to the attacks the way he was earlier, but he knows, obviously, he has this in the bag.
Flicks out the jab, keeps on the move, knows what he has to do, and that's just to stay out of trouble for 3 minutes, really. Because the votes are in and the election's been won. He smiles through the gum shield, Mayweather, as if to just remind Baldomir, I've almost got this done.
Another lazy round from Mayweather. A couple of little noises in the crowd that maybe they would like to see him finish on a high.
Well, he's being pragmatic, isn't he? Again, though, Baldomir still can't land his punches. His reflexes are absolutely brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah, all the way through I've been so impressed by the defensive moves he's been showing. But I think he'll be quite glad to hear the final bell as well, because I think that he's had to work all the way through. Hasn't wanted to get involved in the last week. Now the crowd are showing some disapproval here.
Yeah, they just want Mayweather to be a bit more positive and to really take control of the thing, not just ease his way through the finishing tape.
Yes, another round where he hasn't done any work, so you're quite entitled to score another one. Baldomir, he's working.
Yeah, I don't think he's landed enough, Jim, really, to give him the round here.
But you can't be scoring the round for just moving around, making the other guy miss it, and Baldomir's landing up close. Good bust here from him.
Well, however you score this last round, there's no doubt about who's won it. Mayweather knows. Crowd boo him, though. He hasn't won a lot of friends, really, here tonight. They wanted something more from him, something more positive. But you have to say, he is a top class technician. And Baldomir could never really seriously get into the argument, no matter how very, very hard he tried. A totally unmarked Floyd Mayweather again, and the result, when the scorecards are announced, is a foregone conclusion.
It's like Carlos.
Yep, 1-1-7-1-11. I was tight to Baldomir in the last quarter of the fight, simply because Mayweather really dropped the pace, coasted for the remainder. The crowd didn't like it too much, but the judges may have it a bit wider. I wouldn't mind that, as long as they come up with the right winner, but I don't think there's any chance of anything else happening.
Yeah, well, I've got it a bit wider than that. I did kindly score one round level. I think it was the 6th when Baldomir put on a bit of pressure. And like you, I gave him the 10th as well. Everything else on my card to Floyd Mayweather, who looks, to be honest with you, at the moment, just about untouchable and invincible. Total frustration for Carlos Baldomir, but his massive, I mean, how bad a day is it when you've earned £1.5 million? Mayweather just said to somebody there, overheard, he did hurt his right hand in the contest.
Well, that's maybe an excuse he has for coasting in the last part of the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Mandalay Bay Resort Casino of Las Vegas, we go to the judges' scorecards. John Keane, 120, 108. Chuck Giampa, 120, 108. Paul Smith, 118, 110. All to the winner by unanimous decision. New welterweight champion of the world, still pound for pound the best in the world, Pretty Boy.
John Keane, the British judge, giving him every round, as did Chuck Giampa. Paul Smith giving 2 rounds to Baldomir, as Jim did as well, where you can argue about margins. There was no doubt at all who won that. Floyd Mayweather, the form book is obeyed. He's still unbeaten, and he's the WBC welterweight champion now.
Well, a pretty boy, very, very impressive. We hope to be hearing from him shortly. Plus, we'll get the thoughts of our guests. That's next on this Big Fight special.
StansPoker.com. Have it.